we will kick ourselves off here with the Thursday night game, the Packers and the Cardinals. Packers end up winning 24-21. This was a wild game. The Packers were without Devontae Adams, Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Who else were they missing? Joe Barry, their defensive coordinator, was out with COVID.
Lazard, then basically a scrum squad going against Kyler Murray, and the undefeated Arizona Cardinals are formerly undefeated Arizona Cardinals.
The Cardinals were also down, worth mentioning, though, to their third string center. J.J. Watt is done for the year. They did get Chandler Jones back for this game, so a little bit of boost, but yeah, just
got
kind of
AJ
a weird.
Green out of retirement, so there's pros and cons to everything.
Yeah, exactly. This was a lot of weird stuff going on with this game. Obviously, the injuries, the COVID stuff, but the Packers end up winning here. So the 72 Dolphins, I suppose, get to pop their champagne. And we survived the primetime parlay from the Thursday night game for just both of us for just the third time this year, which was a little wild, but we made it. But yeah, this game, we go into these games, right? What are we learning from this stuff? What I learned from this is as long as you have Aaron Rodgers, nothing else matters, especially with the way that Matt LaFleur runs his offense. It's so simple but effective. It's all pre-snap reads from Aaron Rodgers. He usually has a couple different options on a given play, and he just gets the ball out quick, and he's going to out-execute you down the field. He didn't have his best game by any means, but he didn't necessarily need it. And, the Cardinals, they were looking like this game was starting to get away from them a little bit. And then they were able to come back in the fourth quarter. That last drive by Kyler Murray was some elite stuff. I mean, they went empty. They went 4 out and just had him pick his matchups up until the interception. But what stands out to you most from this game, Toaster?
This game, in a box score perspective, is way closer to me than it was in actuality. I mean, the Cardinals defense, I will give them credit for it, had 2 goal line stands. I mean, the interception return to the 3-yard line that turned into just a field goal, and then the turnover on downs. It was Packers all the way. This was complete and utter domination, in my opinion. And the Cardinals need to be a little bit concerned about Kyler Murray being dinged up at the end of this game, and whether or not he's going to be available for the next 1 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's the biggest takeaway from the Cardinal side for me here is Kyler. I mean, I think at the end of the day, this game doesn't change my mind. At least the outcome of this game doesn't change my mind about who these two teams are, where they necessarily rank in the hierarchy of the NFC. I think if I'm, picking tomorrow, I might still put the Cardinals slightly ahead of the Packers right now, all things being equal, despite the outcome here. But Kyler getting hurt on that, what was it, the second to last play that they ran? I mean, he clearly was hobbled. That last throw, he put everything he had into that throw and immediately crumbled to the ground. And do we know? I know he left the game in a boot, but do we know like the extent of what the possible injury is here?
They said it's a legitimate ankle sprain. So not a high ankle sprain. Low ankle sprain is just a tolerance type of thing typically, but he's still considered day to day for the San Francisco 49ers game next weekend. So it doesn't look great, and this has been the knock on Kyler the whole time, is that when you run that aggressive style, putting your quarterback out there to take hits, is it going to ultimately catch up with you? Because they were 5-1 to start off last season. Now they were 7-0, 7-1 now. I think that this does, even with the loss, solidify that Cliff Kingsbury is going to get his first season over 500. But
I would hope so.
Yeah,
Shit would have to go mad sideways.
Absolutely. But it's just it's a perilous play right now. And I think, like I talked about last week, where Derrick Henry was the MVP of the league, this one showed me that DeAndre Hopkins is the glue that holds that team together, because short of that, absolutely amazing first play it wasn't the first play of the game, but first long play of the game where
Yeah.
Hopkins basically sold that it was an underthrow, got the DB off of him for 3-4 yards, then decided to just absolutely mangle his face. There was nothing else from the Cardinals offense for the entire first half.
Yeah, and his injury, so that hamstring is something that he's been dealing with really for a couple years. He pops up on the injury report every week, and there's always some, I think, a little bit of a question: isn't he going to play? So definitely something for them to monitor. I mean, they came out of this game really banged up. They were losing guys left and right, and it's going to be tough for them. I think ultimately, this is if you are going to be without Kyler, although hand up, I don't even know who their backup is. Do you?
It's Strevler.
Oh, it's
Fucking fucking right arm tat Strevler.
Oh my
Arm
God.
sleeve.
Who?
Yeah.
Arm sleeve Strevler.
Has he ever
Steve
played?
Strevler.
Yeah, he played last year. In multiple forgettable performances. Yeah, there's not a whole lot there. I don't even remember where he came from. I don't think it was the CFL, but some
That name screams BYU.
outside of the tats, yes.
Yeah. Bottom line is they are not in a very great position at that. So South Dakota, by the way, Chris Strevler, 2 years in the league, but yeah, they're not in a good spot if Kyler misses time. But that said, they get the Niners, who, despite what they did this week, I think are pretty unimpressive so far. The Panthers, who we know have been struggling despite their win this week. Same with the Seahawks, really. Then they get a bye, and the Bears. All four of those games are very winnable for them. And I guess, Kyler being the key piece here, but in theory, worst case, you should go 3-1 on that stretch. And that sets you up pretty nice going into that Monday Night Football game, week 14 against the Rams. They could be 10-2 or 11-1 potentially. But I do think on some level here, there's a positive for the Cardinals that the 7-0 thing's done, right? You no longer have to worry about the undefeated record and all the maybe we're just better stuff,
And
which
maybe
they
that's
obviously
why the Packers got it out of the way week 1, right? They're just like, we don't want this
exactly
17-0 bullshit. Let's just get absolutely destroyed by the Saints, and we can go 16-1 the rest of the time.
Yeah, there you go. But I mean, they now, it gives them a great opportunity to reset to some degree. And we've talked about with Bill Belichick the way that he likes to motivate his team. You learn a lot more from losing than you do from winning. That's for sure. And I think this is going to really
Is that
set
Urban
them.
Meyer's motto too?
I mean, that's all he's got really at this point. You know what I mean? But I think that they can take something positive from this, and you just move forward, really. But this was a weird one. It's Thursday night. There was a bunch of injuries. It's
Thursday night
we
wild
talked about.
card. That's why we've only
Mhm.
made it through 3 times out of 8 weeks now. I would say, though, when you talk about 49ers, Panthers, Seahawks, Bears, then Rams, Panthers probably get CMC back by week 10, and the Seahawks probably get Russell Wilson
Russ
back by
back.
week 11. So
Yeah.
still not a pushover by any means. It'll be interesting to see how they're able to bounce back.
Yeah. No, that's a great call. Those teams getting healthy definitely changes things a little bit. But all right. Any last thoughts on the Thursday night game before we move on here?
I want to know what
that-
AJ Green was doing. Why did he think that was a run?
I don't
understand.
Is that like a read thing
how
where it's a run with the option of like him being the primary route?
It was a designed pass to the other side of the field. I just don't get why you give up on any given play. Saying is any given Sunday. Now it's any given Thursday or Monday or sometimes Saturday. Like, just play it out, right? Like, you're not blocking, even if it's to the other side of the field. Be prepared for something crazy to happen.
Yeah, if he turns around, that's in his armpit and it's a touchdown.
Yeah.
Like he looked up at the Jumbotron like he was blocking, seeing if
he was
like
trying to
Edmonds
watch
ran it in or
victory.
something. Yeah, I don't know what was going on.
Yeah.
So you
I don't
think
know.
that's not miscommunication? That's just him.
Oh,
No,
I
it
mean,
was.
it definitely was,
Okay.
but
It's not
the
him
play
cashing
call
in.
was not to him, so he just
kind of cashed in a little bit.
run his faux route and cost them the game, quite frankly.
Yeah, I mean, Kyler clearly motions to him, right? So Kyler's got a pre-snap look that he changed up what he was looking to do and tried to get AJ to what looked like was probably just run some sort of shallow fade. And so I think it was just miscommunication. But, you get in those moments and shit's rolling and your time is of the essence there. It's like you know that you have essentially one shot into the end zone there, maybe two, depending on how quickly you get it off before you might be kicking to go to overtime. So there's just a lot going on in that moment. But yeah, not a great look for AJ Green, that's for sure.
Yeah.